I see me, but I don't see anything else. Let's see. Oh, there it goes. And now it reset. So let's fix it. Yes, we'll fix it. It looks too terrible. For some reason, it always resets the light when it goes off. Okay, so here we are. Let's see if it sounds working when it goes off. Yes, it is. Okay, good. I got some questions yesterday that I hadn't seen over on the side comment spot there. I got to move this. If I move this better, I probably could see it better. So one was from Lisa Ruffsham in North Carolina, and she asked, "Can direct mail be an affordable and a possibility for a solopreneur?" Let's start the show. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. So Lisa from North Carolina, I guess, said, "Can direct mail be an affordable? Can direct mail be affordable and a possibility for a solopreneur?" Well, I'm kind of in that ball game most of the time, and what I've been doing is sending out hand-addressed greeting cards, essentially. And I was looking for something interesting to send, and so I got an old Dilbert calendar and cut it up. You know, those desk page by page, each cartoon. It makes a nice greeting card. And then I figured out a way to make my handwriting into a font. So, because I get all nervous when I'm trying to write the interior of a card. I can do the address pretty well. And I can do some other things, the return address I'm good at, and even a message on the outside of the card that might relate to the cartoon. But that interior with lots of lines is hard for me. So I do that in my type font, and then I sign the card, and then I send it off. I got some nice reaction to that. For a while, I did 2 per day. Now I'm doing them when I feel moved. You have to do 2 because they print 2 up on my laser printer where I print the interior of the card, which works really well. So yes, you can. I've written Joel at Quad Graphics. I've written the president or the CEO. I've written the CMO of the USPS. I've written the CEO of Red Lobster and a couple other places like that. The general counsel at Culver's Restaurants. If I have something I think really I want to get through. The challenge these days is if you're selling to businesses, how do you identify how do you get it to the decision maker who's working from home? And that is a big puzzle. I've had 2 people ask me that question in the last couple weeks, and my advice to both of them was elevate the perceived value of the mailing piece. In other words, either send something really odd. I remember one time we addressed pieces of 2x4 and sent them parcel post. This was long ago, but I think it's still, like legal to do. You might want to check with your local postal service. Or better yet, you might want to visit one of our meetups, and somebody high up from the Postal Service who really knows the answer might be on there and could tell you. Which brings me to another question. But anyway, so send something interesting. Send something that the gatekeeper isn't likely to open, or if they open it, isn't likely to chuck in the wastebasket. Because even the CEOs that aren't showing up at the office are getting their mail eventually. So that would be my advice to you on that one. But we had just a bang up time at the webinar thing yesterday. Let's see what we've got on the queue. Yeah, here's a picture. Here's a screenshot. There were a few more people that attended, but this was a pretty good screenshot of the, oops, what in the world is going on here? I always love LinkedIn telling me all these things that I don't care about. I don't know what is going on. Let's hit discard. There we go. I had this all queued up. Anyway, but LinkedIn is dynamic. I should have PDF'd it. So we had a wonderful time, and Mike shared about their challenges with mailers and what they're facing, and they're mailing millions of pieces, millions and millions of pieces. Mary shared some of their capabilities in self-mailers. Kelly shared about nonprofits and what they're thinking today. Debbie shared, well, a lot about their capability. That's one of the biggest printer mailers in the country. And Ellen actually gave some ideas to several of the other panelists about how to elevate that mailing piece. Ellen does display devices and has done them as inserts in magazines. And I suggested that maybe that on the outside of the box would be, I've always wanted to send a box with like a countdown timer on the outside, like you see in the old spy movies, I don't think that would be a good idea, but it might be. It would be attention getting. And Patrick shared some stuff about the Postal Service that Mary said she'd never heard before. She commented down here, and let's see if I can get that comment on here. She said, no, it's not only is it not showing up, it's getting worse. Mary said, well, anyway, I'll read it to you. This one meetup was worth my $200 membership fee for the year. The info about the Postal Service offering seed paper, I put that one in. The sustainability of paper mail versus the carbon footprint of digital servers, electronic ink, all terrific topics. Let's keep in touch, folks. Thanks, Mary. And so, that was a really nice endorsement. I appreciate that. Let's go over to the Postal Service now, and we'll talk about some of what we learned from Patrick. Patrick, of course, was talking about informed delivery, which we've heard the Postal Service pounding on for like years and years. And now he said that there's in his district, 25% of the households have signed up for informed delivery, and there's an 80% plus open rate, which was something I didn't know. But the thing that a lot of the panel didn't know about was informed visibility. You say, well, what's informed visibility? Well, what it is the same technology that tells me as a consumer what's in my mailbox before I get to the mailbox, or what's coming to the mailbox whenever the Postal Service comes. The same technology, I saw there was something from the Wisconsin Department and the window envelope doesn't say what, it's probably Department of Revenue, and I made a math error. One thing about Wisconsin, they catch my math errors, so I don't worry too much about them, And if it's another $50 or something, oh well. Anyway, I never worry too much. They're very nice people over there at the Department of Revenue, but it could be Department of Transportation. It might be my wife's stickers. No, we put the stickers on. It's probably related to that, though. Anyway, Department of Transportation is way different than the Department of Revenue. Anyway, informed visibility is a product that most people don't understand, kind of tags along with informed delivery. Since the Postal Service is scanning it right before it gets delivered anyway, keeping track of it as it goes, it means that mailers can can know when pieces are getting delivered. There's a dynamic tracking, so that it's almost near real-time information that the ads are getting delivered. I remember back in the old days of television, we used to subscribe, or print newspaper. At the ad agency, we subscribed to clipping services. And what clipping services did was they watched a particular newspaper and they cut out the ads. And they would send you in an envelope the ads that were placed for the companies you were trying to track. And you really knew that the ad was getting placed. Now, digital, because of the near real-time auction capabilities and AI and all this that promises to get your ad in front of real people at just the precise moment they're going to make a buying decision. I don't believe that's possible, but I know they say it. and that 50% of every dollar you spend goes to getting that precision honed to a fine art. Unfortunately, about 30% of those images go to bots and fraudulent placement, but that's a different issue. And 50% of it doesn't go to the publishers. It goes to all the layers of middlemen that are promising all the magic, the digital claims. But anyway, the Postal Service, on the other hand, does deliver your mailing piece and gives you the trackability option. Also, as Patrick mentioned, it's possible for free with the Postal Service to add, I believe, to add 3 more touch points to your mail if you want to. So you can tell the consumer that it's coming. You can, one of my print clients or members in WDMA offers email that can go to the consumer at the moment that, or on the day that the mailing piece is delivered. We can track with QR codes the fact that they've seen it and inquired and loop it back through the system. And we can follow up with retargeting and in mail and in banner or other advertising. Google Ad Network, for example, Facebook. Both of those can take the address and then place an ad in connection with that mailing. So there's multiple touch points that can be leveraged with the Postal Service that you probably don't even know about. Especially if you're a printer, you should be offering this somehow or other. And I know there are some issues with getting the informed delivery. The informed delivery can actually add like the ad along with the mailing piece, so that when the consumer sees the number 10 envelope that's offering them life insurance or health insurance, there can be essentially a banner ad inside of that email that's clickable and can take the consumer to a personal URL that has information about their specific insurance rates or things that might be pertinent to them, as opposed to some millennial kid that's going to have vastly different insurance needs. Did you know all this? Well, anyway, that's some of the stuff that Mary was mentioning that she learned in our meetup. So these are real marketing meetings. I have to say it was probably the best marketing conversation I've had in a couple of years. You know, even when you go to a NMOA, it's hard at a cocktail party to get that kind of content, and you know, never mind, we had owners and CEOs of some of the biggest companies, direct mail companies in America. How about that? In several different varieties, and you know, asking each other questions. I didn't even have to talk mostly. The style consultant doesn't let me talk. Anyway, I highly encourage you to join the WDMA. Come along on this journey. You will learn a lot, and your friends will know you're smart. So I don't have a link here. Go to WDMA.org. Click on the join. Get involved. We all need to work together. And that's one of the things I really am getting with the meetups. There's really a lot of smart people out there that know an amazing amount that can help your marketing. Have a great day.